This is the trailer that I've heard more positive feedback than almost any trailer I think I've ever sold. I've heard, this is the one. This is it. It's my favorite. Honestly, I took this trailer to a show and the feedback was just raving fans. So without further ado, let's get into this tour of the all new Reboot by Pause Palomino. This is the 17.4. This is the one. This is the one with the deck. People have been loving this unit. Check it out. You get to go up the stairs, stand on the deck. Yes, if the bugs are out, you can pull this thing down and you can have a screen, keep the bugs away from attacking you. Also, there is going to be a railing, a deck railing that goes around this so you can put your dogs or your animals out here. They're not going to fall off the patio. And then you can scoot in here. This table is massive. You have so much space right here. You could easily put 3 people on each side. We're talking 4 to 6 people at this table. You want to lounge, you can take this and you can lounge right here, look outside, or if you want to turn it around, you can lounge inside looking towards this giant TV back here. Check this out. So this TV, you can clip this out and you can spin it around and you can watch TV from the booth area if you want to. Coming back over to the kitchen, we got the fridge. This is the everchill fridge. This is the exact same fridge that you're going to get in all of the reboots. A lot of people have been asking, what are the specs on the unit? Most of the specs are exactly the same as the current 19.4 or 19.6. You can also go to our website, check out all the specs there. We do have most everything on there now officially, so check that out. I'll get more into the weights and the lengths, but here you have the kitchen area. We got the nice sinks that you're seeing in pretty much all of the reboots, along with this nice spray, hot and cold. You got a cutting board that covers this. This unit is a special edition. It's been used by Maynard and his wife. So yes, that's right. The toilet, the shower, you want to get this unit special edition. You'll never ever be able to get a unit like this that you know Maynard has used the toilet in. So over here we got outlets, USBs, we got a stove. These put out a lot of heat, lots of BTUs. Down here we have the microwave convection oven, so you can bake. Not a lot. That's not a massive oven. A lot of people complain about it, but listen, you're out camping, go bake in the what's that thing called? Dutch oven. Did you hear my toilet comment? You did? Good. You scared me over there. There we go. We got the Furrion fan, light, and then of course one of my favorite things is the new cabinetry. I love the new cabinetry. I love the just sleekness of it. It's very modern. The white walls, it's all fiberglass with the Asdel backing. So if you've watched any of the other Reboot tours, same thing, same construction, the walls, the material, the radius roof, it's the same construction. There's nothing majorly different. It's really just the floor plan. So coming into here, there are some changes that have been made in this bathroom area. Obviously, this is kind of a midship bathroom. You do have the good old porcelain toilets. Once again, used by Maynard. This will not actually come with a discount. This is going up in price. It's a premium. It's like a celebrity vehicle that you buy, right? So we got our shower on and off switch, hot and cold. This unit is the base unit, which means it comes with the Coleman Mach AC, the Suburban furnace, water heater. But if you wanted to, you could upgrade it to the all Truma appliances and make it a 4 Seasons trailer. Bathroom has a good amount of little storage also in this vanity area. The bed back here, when we move this back out of the way, the bed is a true residential queen size bed, and we have cabinets all the way along here, and it's a lot of cabinets. There's a lot of storage. One of the things that I really like is outside. There are some new features on the trailer, and there's a lot of cool different options. Maynard is always rapidly adding options and changing things on me. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I'm like, stop changing things so much. No, actually, I never say that. I love all the changes. This one he just showed to me. He's like, check this out. And I was like, what is it? A little table? It's like, no, it's a trash can. Look at that. So you put it in, lock it in here, and have a trash bag, and then you cover it up. Pretty cool. There's a little spigot here. This is designed for the kitchen to come out here. You have some outlets right there. This is sitting on the rubber shear spring. So there's two different suspension options. You have the rubber shear springs, which have, you know, about 5 or so inches of travel, or you can go to the airbags. I would recommend the airbags. Airbags give you the ability to travel 12 inches, but it's also, when you get to camp, you can level side to side. That makes just the camping experience so much more fun. Now, here is something that everybody has been asking for, the Reboot kitchen. Previously, if you notice in here, it was just a storage compartment. We now have a kitchen option. So thank you, Maynard. Okay, so if you've looked at the Pause 16.3, this might look familiar. It has a very similar kitchen. You're gonna grab it right there. This is going to pull all the way out, and it's gonna lock into this spot. You have some cutting board right here. This is like a food grade top, and then this flips out. There is a little slot that goes into right there, locks in. And then this is the sink, drops in right there. And then of course you have a little, let's see if I got it here. I can reach it. I saw it back there somewhere. Where are you? There it is. So you have a little spigot. This plugs in right there. And then you have water. There you go. You also have a fridge. This is an everchill. This is a 12 volt, just like all of the fridges in all the Pause and Reboots. This gives you some little dividers, and then you can turn this into a fridge or freezer. So if you want to throw some steaks in there, drinks, just gives you an extra cooler fridge area. And then of course you have a griddle grill. This is a greystone, and these things put out a ton of heat. If you lift this up, it's a huge burner. And like I said, a lot of heat. You have your little catch for your grease, and then of course you have a little compartment with extra storage. Put some spatulas in there or whatnot. We are actually in the Pause forest. I don't know if you knew that there's an actual forest in Indiana called the Pause Forest. The plant is like about 200 yards that way. We're out in their little woods. Cool little staging area they've created for us to come out and film. But right here you have your aluminum frames. This is what you see on all of the Pause and Reboots. This is the huck riveted aluminum frame, so you're not dealing with any welds. This unit has the new coupler. This thing is really cool. I've learned a lot about this. We've been here today going through the factory, getting another factory tour of the Pauses. And this unit, you can see, you pull that and then you have that full articulating in every direction. So when you go off-roading, you're gonna have crazy amount of articulation, just like any hitch you've ever seen in Australia, the Cruise Master, the Mick hitches, the Max coupler, whatever hitch. But the cool thing about this is a 2 5/16 ball, which means you don't have to go and buy some random weird hitch to like work for this. You can, if you already have a hitch at home, you have maybe a rotating hitch that gives you different sizes, like a 2-inch ball and a 2 5/16. So if you're taking a little cargo trailer or a boat trailer and it's a 2-inch, you can use that same hitch and just rotate it and use it on this. So cool little feature. This is the all designed and patented by MORryde. The entire hitch is rated for 10,000 pounds. This coupler ball is 21,000 pounds. Anyway, super cool that MORryde has made this. Up here, of course, you have your storage area. And this is your propane tanks. Right now you can see there's two 20-pounders in here. If you opted out for the shear spring, you could put 30-pounders. If you want to do this, the air suspension, then there's an air tank right here, and this is all you get in here. So it just depends on what you're trying to do. One thing I want to point out is piano hinges, which is awesome. Anytime you're looking at boats, yachts, you'll notice piano hinges is a thing. When you look at cheap trailers, they don't usually have piano hinges. So that's something that I like to point out. You have another little teeny storage compartment up here. Not a lot of things that you can put in here, but once again, you do have a piano hinge. It's silly and it's simple, but it's just the attention to detail that you see on the trailer. Now up here, we do have our electric tongue jack. So you're gonna press this button and that's gonna level it front to back. It's all electric. So that's if you're hooked up to your truck and you want to get it unhooked, you just press the button, it lifts it off the truck. Now up here we do have the 7-pin, and I really like that they have a little cradle for it to hang out. That kind of slides right in there. And then you also have a place where you can put your chains, and they all kind of have their little spot to hang out. Of course, on this we do have the Lippert stabilizer jacks. Those are their quick jacks. Those pull out, pop. We got some water dripping here. That's from the AC, condensation off the AC. Now coming around here, as you know, all the Pause and Reboots are powered by Garmin. If you know anything about Garmin, aviation, yachts, Garmin is a very reputable company when it comes to, you know, essentially componentry that control airplanes, boats. So Pause has gone out and teamed up with Garmin to actually be the brains of this trailer. And so the Garmin is the interface, and it runs and tells everything how to work and what to do. It's very easy to use. I'll show you, it's very intuitive, especially the Reboot. That's one of the things that I really like about the Reboot is Maynard has really figured out how to simplify the Reboot, which is something that I've been asking for. You know, the Pause does have a lot of cool features, but sometimes it gets a little overwhelming for some people, and they just want it to be simple and easy. And it's like an iPhone, you just want it to work. One button turns it on, turns it off, and you just easily and more intuitive. So the Reboot is a lot more intuitive, I think, than the previous Pause units. So we come up here, you can see lots of storage. I mean, that solar panel was not even moved. So even with a full-size kitchen, you still have all the way to those solar panels without even impeding on your kitchen space. So that is pretty cool. There is a lot of space inside this unit, even with the kitchen added. One thing I want to point out, these are metal strikers, right? So essentially what that means is you can let that drop and slam against itself. Right here, we have more piano hinges going across that entire cargo door. At some point, I'm going to show you a video of how most RVs do it. They just bend the aluminum and put a little screw in each side and just slide it in. It's really cheesy and cheap. Also, you have magnets right here. And so when you open this up, the whole thing is magnetic and it holds it up and out of the way. So that's another little cool touch that you don't see on a lot of trailers. A lot of trailers, you'll see this little flap that's plastic, and that thing just disintegrates after a couple of years with the sun. So the magnet is going to hold up a lot longer. Right here in this unit we're looking at is a base unit. So it has a water heater, and this is a tank water heater, which what that means is this is going to open up. So that's going to fill up, and it's going to give you 6 gallons of hot water. Now, if you want to go with the upgraded componentry, you can, and the upgraded components are going to be Truma, everything Truma. So this one, like I mentioned earlier, inside, it's a Mach Coleman air conditioning. You can go with the Truma. You would also get a Truma instant on-demand water heater. So instant and on-demand, it's important to understand there's a distinction between the two. So on-demand just means when you turn on the water, it turns on and it's on demand. So you're demanding water to come to you and make it hot. It's going to make it hot, but it wastes a lot of water in the lines as it engages and kicks on and starts heating it up. Instant means there has to be a circulation system built into the water heater. So when you turn the water heater on, it starts circulating the water in the lines. So it needs an actual separate pump than your main pump. Not to get too confused, not to try to confuse you or anything, but generally you have your main water pump. The water heater has a built-in water pump inside of it that circulates the water, and you have to run water lines all the way throughout the trailer. So it starts circulating that hot water in. So when you turn on the tap, it's hot right close to the tap. So the second you turn it on, you're getting hot water and you're not wasting the water. So if you go with the upgraded Truma, you do have that circulating system in it, which makes it an on-demand instant hot water. Anyway, sorry, that's a mouthful. Coming down here, we have our Nautilus P4 system. What that is this is a very simple way to run all your water systems. So you have an outside shower right here. If you go to a campground, you can plug in and you can have city water, which means you're just plugging your water in here and getting continuous water into the trailer. You can also flush your black tank through this. The unit does come stock with a black tank, but that is something that we can switch out at ROA. But when you put the hose in here, if you want to fill up the tanks, you just follow these diagrams, and they have these knobs and they're colorful. and you just turn these. We teach you this when you come to pick up the trailer at ROA. One of the really important things is that you pick up the trailer at one of our facilities, because we'll spend the day with you teaching you how to work everything. It's really easy once you learn how to do it. The upfront learning sometimes, you know, takes a second for you to figure it out, but really simple once you know how it works. So right here we have the ladder that goes up to the roof. As far as solar, your options are 600 watts on the roof, and you also have a port for briefcase, and that will give you an additional 600 watts. So we're talking between the briefcase and the roof, you have 1200 watts total, which is a lot of solar to be able to run all of your components. Right here, we do have the shore power. So if you are plugging in, that actually comes from the boat marine world, because it's like taking your boat next to the shore and getting power off the shore. So that's where that originates from. So you plug this in and you plug it into a post or, you know, the shore, wherever you're at. You can also plug in a generator right here, but that's gonna be able to get you full power to run all your components, your air conditioning, charge your batteries. Now, once again, if you're not plugged in, this thing is designed to go off grid, and it's designed to run the air conditioner off grid without being plugged in, which is really cool. A lot of trailers cannot run air conditioning that long off grid. This thing, as far as air conditioning goes, it's going to run the air conditioner off grid more than most any trailer on the market right now, and it's going to actually cool the trailer itself off while it's running it. And if you are off grid running your air conditioner and you don't have access to power to be able to plug it in or have a generator, you're going to be able to charge your batteries through the solar panels on the roof and or the solar panels off the briefcases that you may have with the trailer if you option it that way. Now moving over here, we have the Suburban furnace. This is also one of the base options. If you get a Reboot base, it will not be 4 seasons. If you want it to be 4 seasons, you have to upgrade to the Truma appliances, which means the water heater, furnace, and air conditioning all comes included. And the reason why is this is a single port that just goes into the unit and blows heat into the entire box, and it will warm up the trailer without any issues. Now, if you are going into colder climates and you want heat into the underbelly, which is ducted heat down to where the water tanks are, then you'll have to get the upgraded Truma, and that is ducted throughout the entire trailer, which is also going to distribute the heat throughout the trailer a lot better, but it will also heat the tanks underneath the trailer better. There are, on all the units, whether you go stock or fully loaded, there are heated pads underneath the actual water, gray and black tanks, and there is also a 1/2 inch foam board of insulation, and then you have your underbelly aluminum skin that protects as a skid plate, but also gives it some sort of barrier from the cold weather. Walking back around here, I want to point out a few other things. These steps, really, really cool. If you want to take these off, you're going to grab this, and those are going to pop off like that. I'm going to just move them out of the way for a second so I can show you this very cool setup. So tuck that in there. That's going to shut like this. There's a little lever over there that you reach over and shut. And then you have a bike rack. Super cool. So this, you're going to pull the pin out and you're going to pull that up, and then it locks in through there. And you can obviously mount or strap bikes to this. This is rated for 300 pounds by MoreRide. One of the cool things that I learned from MoreRide last time I was hanging out with him is he says that they test everything to 3 times what they rate it for. Does not give you the ability to go out and use it for more than that. It's only warranted to what they've actually rated it for. If you don't want to use the bike racks, there's something really cool you can do. You can grab these pins out right here on the side, and you can lift this up and out of the way. And it's super light. And I'm not even sweating. Booyah! Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about some of the specs. Once again, I've already mentioned they're similar to all of the Reboots, 19.4, 19.6. So this unit is a 17.4. So what that means is the box itself is 17 feet. That's not the total length tip to tip. So your box is 17 foot and it sleeps 4 people. So you have that front bed, which is a residential 60 by 80 queen. And then you have the rear bed, which is, it's a queen size bed, but it's not exact residential because it's that booth that turns into a bed. So you can sleep 4 adults inside this trailer without any issues. Water capacities are gonna be similar, 65 gallons on the fresh, 35 on the black and the gray. The weight on this is going to be depending on how you load it. The rubber shear spring, which is the base suspension, is lighter than the airbag suspension. You have a lot more components, you have air tank, air compressor, so it does increase the weight quite a bit. Also, you have battery options, right? You can go from 1 battery all the way up to 4 batteries, and those batteries are over 100 pounds each. So your dry weight is roughly around 6,200 pounds, can go all the way up to 7,000 pounds if you're fully loaded. That's the empty weight. The fully loaded GVWR weight is going to be 8,500 pounds. Now, a lot of people want to know, what is the frame? I mentioned earlier, it is an aluminum frame. There is no welds in this. It is a huck riveted frame. You may ask, what is that? So if you look at suspension bridges, you'll see these are huck rivets. Generally, a suspension bridge is going to be huck riveted. Semi trucks are huck riveted. Airplanes riveted. Jets riveted. Right? So essentially anything that is getting a lot of vibrations or movement, usually huck riveted is going to be a superior method of putting together a frame. So Pause, when they were thinking about the frame with MORryde, they said they wanted something that was going to, you know, stand the test of time and going off-road, going through extreme situations. And that's the reason why they went with a huck riveted, because you're never going to have the issue of human error that you might get with welding aluminum. So right here you can see really robust wheel wells, so you're not going to have a blowout, and it's not a piece of plastic that just disintegrates like you'll see on most trailers. Your walls are actually a laminate or fiberglass. This is a paint, so you have a few different options in color. You do have a tan and a white, and those are options that you can choose, and they don't cost any different. Or you can go to an upgraded paint, which is a gray. That does cost more money. Looks pretty cool though. So you can check that out. The fiberglass exterior is what you have on the exterior. You also have fiberglass on the interior. And the backing of it is not wood, it's Azdel. So Azdel is a composite material. You can soak that in water. It will never warp or delaminate or get destroyed from moisture, condensation, or water. Another really cool thing about the wall that I haven't actually seen in really hardly any RVs ever. I've seen it in one other RV, but it's no longer made. It was discontinued. But they actually create a barrier, like an insulation barrier that goes the whole length of the wall, which means there are aluminum studs in the wall. But instead of those aluminum studs touching the fiberglass or the Azdel on the exterior and getting that condensation or that thermal bridging, they actually have about a ½ inch gap of insulation going along the entire length of the wall. So it actually prevents that heat and cold from coming through the trailer as fast, which is pretty cool. It's just a better way of doing insulation. Before we head inside, I want to point out another feature is the awning. So we have, this is a Colorado Carefree awning, and that thing will open up nicely. And it also has a little light, LED light on the light bar. And then over here you have a white light. And if there's too many bugs out, you can turn on that amber light, and that deters the bugs a little bit more. And you can also turn off that awning light. One of the cool things on this awning that I've not seen on other awnings is it has a little pitch along here. So that's going to give it a little bit more flow to get the water off going in one direction or another. Now, come on back inside, and I want to show you this sitting area a little bit more and point out some cool storage areas. Okay, so I do want to point out we do have some Bluetooth speakers. There are also speakers on the outside. I don't think I pointed out. But one of the things that I really like about this trailer is you can sit back and lounge. So this cushion right here is kind of a dual purpose cushion. So you can go and put it this way and lounge that way and look outside. So of course you can lounge this way and just kind of like kick back, look outside, pull the screen down, have a little bit more bug protection. One of the really cool things about this unit is if you really just look around both sides, this thing has a crazy amount of windows. Windows there, windows here, windows in the kitchen. This unit just has so many windows. Obviously, the back is just one giant window, but you can close it up, lock it, and still enjoy another window in the back. So if you like light, there might not be a trailer that has more light than this thing. If you don't like light, you can pull up these blackouts. You can close this thing up and check this out. All the way. Let's go. And now it's nice and dark. And that's not even with all the blinds closed. There's still blinds in the front area that are still open. But if you really want to kind of darken it up, take a nap in the middle of the day, you totally can, because it gets nice and dark in here. Like I said, this is not even all the lights. There's still windows open in the front. Okay, now that I took you from darkness to light, I will now show you a few more things that I like. Number one is underneath this bench, there is a massive storage area, which you have not seen on other pauses. As you can see, we still have flyers from the show that we went to, but you could easily put some winter clothes, boots, extra jackets down there. This is the whole length of the booth. That gives you just full storage space. And then this covers up nicely. This cushion is going to go down here. Now, the table does have a little bit of movement to it. Not a ton, but it does have a little bit. Now, you're going to come over to this side. This side, unfortunately, you did not have storage, but that's okay because you have something better than storage. And it's called an insane electrical system. This power system is one of the most incredible power systems you're going to see in an RV. You have your 3,000 watt inverter, Victron. This is your charger. Turns your 12 volt power into 120 volt power, which means you can run your air conditioner off grid. You have solar charge controllers. You have servos. You got DC to DC chargers. All of your fuses and everything are breakers down here. Just such an incredible system. 1,080 amps of lithium. This entire system right here is going to, just parts alone, is going to cost you over 10 grand, 10 to 15 grand, right? If you were to go out and buy and try to make this yourself or have somebody custom build this in your trailer, you're talking, oh man, it's crazy. $10,000 to $20,000 depending on where you go to get it done. This is such a cool system in these trailers. And then look how they've just, all the frame that they've built around for the booth is all aluminum. They could have went with wood, but they went with aluminum. Now, after a long day's work, if you want to rest, you can drop this table down into a bed. There you have it. You've made your booth area into a massive bed, and you can pull up, open this up, and enjoy the beautiful view of the Pause factory through the Pause woods. So there you have it. Imagine, really, honestly, pulling up to the beach, opening this thing up, and just letting the good times roll. Just wherever you like, the mountains, a lake, the ocean, unbelievable. And if you get tired of the ocean, you got outlets up the wazoo, like right here behind me. I got an outlet with USB, USB-C. So if you don't want to look at the outside, if you don't want to enjoy the nature, you can enjoy your iPad, your cellular device, your computer. You can work remote. You can do whatever you want. There's outlets over there. There's 12-volt plugs over there. You literally have everything you need to be able to enjoy yourself. Another thing is massive, massive amount of storage. These things, and they're locking latches. This is one of the things we haven't seen previously in the Pauses. You now have locking latches on everything. Coming up here to the kitchen area, you have just really a lot of storage. Come in here, check this out. Super deep. It's the entire length of the kitchen. Complimentary 24-hour roadside and troubleshooting assistance. Forest River Care. Need assistance? Call 1-800-608-2751. I wonder if that actually works. That's like the Roamer Tech line. It's just nobody knows about it. That's so cool. And then you have lots of drawers. This is a backup camera that comes standard. Let me show you this really quick. You can plug it into your vehicle, or you can plug it in here into the vehicle, into the trailer. And as you can see, we can see it's getting the top side of the door right now. And then a little bit of the Pause forest behind it. There you go. Come down here. The only thing that sucks about the Pause forest is the Pause train that comes down the middle of the Pause forest. And then we have another pot drawer, because you have to always do your pot when you're camping. I mean, use pots while you camp. This is out of control, huh? Oh, look, we forgot. There's more cupboards over here. Another thing that I want to point out that is just so often forgotten when you're buying trailers is simple little access panels like this that you can use to get to the back, wiring, speakers. It's such a simple little detail that you don't always see on trailers. Or they don't put a handle there. They usually put a screw if you're lucky, if you even have an access panel. We shut this up. And then you have this nice plug with USBs, and this slides down and disappears. Now this is the base model, so it has a Formica type of countertops, laminate, and the upgraded is a Corian or a solid surface type of stone countertops. Adds a little bit of weight, but it's beautiful. It looks really good. Now right here we have our sliding barn door style door that goes into the bathroom, and you also have a mirror, cupboard, more cupboards and more cupboards down there, and of course outlets. And you also have your fantastic vent fan. This is the base fan. You can go up to the upgraded one, which is just a little bit more airflow, and it also works through your Garmin system. Now that is probably the final thing that I want to talk about. So here we have our Garmin system. Everything is integrated into a Garmin control, so you can see your water tanks, you have your gauges, your fresh, gray, black, you have some light controls here, your air conditioning. This, like I said, this is the base model, so there's features that are taken away from it because you don't have air suspension, so obviously there's not an air suspension option here. But you do have your lights, and you have your water, your heated tanks. Heated tanks are going to be a feature that you get on all of the Reboots, but if you want to have a Four Seasons trailer, then you have to upgrade the Truma appliances. And then you have your electrical system, so you can see your input from your solar. And then we have back to our main home screen. So here's a little light feature, so we can turn this off. So we have our living room lights. We can turn those back on. They're also dimmable. They flicker in the cameras if they look weird, but they don't in real life. Last thing I want to show you is the famous or infamous soap drop test. Will I fit? That is the question. We never know. This shower is a little bit bigger than the 16.4 shower. That was one of the things Maynard wanted to do. This is kind of like a reverse 16.4. The bed's in the back, the booth's in the front. He did this where they put the bed in the front and the booth in the back, but he also didn't like the bathroom was a little tiny, a little tight. So he went with this one to make it a little bit bigger. And as you can see, if I were to drop soap, it would be hard to bend over, but you can do like the squat bend and pick up the soap. So not a big deal. Remember, you're camping. You can't always have everything you want when you're out camping. But you do have a towel bar holder, which is very important. These are the types of things that drive me crazy. It's like, why can't you just give me a towel holder? Like, we get trailers all the time and there's nowhere to put your towels. It's like, what, should I shove it in my toilet? Like, give me a freaking towel bar holder. Tongue twister. And last but not least, we have our bedroom area. This is, like I said, a residential queen, which means you can put any bed, any mattress you want on this if you have a preference. And you have this tons and tons of storage, and it's super deep. I can barely reach the end of it. And then of course you have a window at the head of your bed. You have the window at the butt of your bed, if that's the way you sleep, on your side. And then at the foot of your bed, you can make this into any type of window you want. You just turn on a screensaver and you can have a window at the foot of your bed, or you can watch TV. And also you have hooks right there to hang up stuff, whatever you hang up. Jackets, sweaters, coats, hats, whatever you want to hang up, you can hang up there because there's hooks to hang up stuff. Towels, you can hang up towels there. See, those are the things that you want, hooks to hang up things. You also have this cool little cubby area where you can put some storage. I don't know what you'd put down there. Maybe some books, maybe some books. I don't know what else you would put down there. I'd put books there. You can put whatever you want down there. There's tons and tons of storage throughout this trailer. All around the whole entire top of the trailer, there's cupboards for stuff. There's also a lot of storage outside that outside compartment. If you opt for the kitchen, you have about 70% of that storage area. If you take away the kitchen, you can have a massive storage. And as a matter of fact, we just started putting in a tray, and that thing is amazing. Like, opens in and out. You can put tons of stuff in that storage area with that tray. Well, you can put stuff with or without it. It's just easier to access it. So there you have it. That is the Reboot. Dun, dun, dun. You got to admit, this is pretty cool. I can lay back, I can relax, I can go to the beach and just enjoy the Pause Forest, or whatever else you want to do. I mean, this is so cool. If you want to put some chairs out here and just lounge, throw a little table out here and work. This is by far one of the coolest things about this trailer. I mean, it's just so unique, so different. You don't see a trailer with, you know, boat decking that often on the back of it, where it can open up and you can just truly enjoy the outdoors. And that's, to me, what RVing and camping is all about. So there you have it. This is the all-new 17.4 by Pause. It's the Reboot 17.4. If you're interested in it, please reach out. We'd love to answer any questions you may have. This unit is available for purchase. We're already putting in orders. So give us a shout if you have any questions, and we'd love to help you. If you want to put in an order, if this is your dream camper, we'd love to help you get into it. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.